was an article that came out in the San Diego Union Tribune, September 17th, 2018. As opioid death toll worsens, California doctors will soon be required to check patient prescription drug history. What they mean by that, ladies and gentlemen, is states, not all states, but states have to keep a database on prescriptions that are written. And if they notice that a person has been doing what they call doctor shopping, they go from one doctor to the next getting the same narcotic over and over, then they should be alerted by it, by the database. Now, here's the problem. California had this database in place for a few decades, and they ignored the database and kept giving patients all this opioid scripts. Now, in the beginning of this article, it talks about a 59-year-old woman that was given 75 prescriptions for opioids in 1 year because no one had checked the database. They just kept writing the scripts over and over without checking. So really, by them not checking the database to see how many prescriptions that she got, they're really contributing to the problem. So in California, they had a database for prescription history where doctors, pharmacies, and other healthcare providers could go out there and see a history of how many scripts were written for each patient. And they failed to do it. So beginning October 2nd, a new law makes consulting that database mandatory. So they can no longer write scripts without checking the database to see the patient's prescription history. By logging into a web-based program, prescribing physicians should easily be able to spot signs of a doctor shopper, someone who sees multiple doctors to load up on prescription drugs, or indications of dangerous medication combinations. Armed with that information, physicians can provide drug safety warnings, deny the patient's requests for prescriptions, and even offer help and hope when drug abuse is suspected. My question is, why did California drop the ball so badly? It's almost like they're trying to ignore that. California created the first system to track prescriptions of the strongest painkillers, but our state fell behind as the opioid plague grew, said State Senator Ricardo Lara, who drafted the legislation in 2015. I wrote SB 482 to require that doctors and other consult the cures system. Okay, so it's called the cures system before prescribing those powerful and addictive drugs. This tool will help limit doctor shopping, break the cycle of addiction, and prevent prescriptions from ever again fueling an epidemic and claims thousands of lives. Yeah, technically, no. And this is why it will not work 100%. As long as you have the dark web and the illegal drug out on the street, you're not breaking the cycle. All you're doing is preventing them from getting the drug from the doctor, which means that person is now going to turn to the street drugs. Never mind. Why should I help them? But let me just move on. The Controlled Substance Utilization Review and Evaluation System, called CURES for short, provides an accounting of a patient's prescription, the doctors who prescribed them, and the pharmacies that filled them. It allows the orthopedist to see what a psychiatrist is doing and the emergency room doctor to see what my physician is doing. I think people make the mistake of thinking it's just for doctor shopping. Okay, so, people are going to come up with many innovative ways. If they can't doctor shop, they go to the emergency room. Many of them are out here injuring their pets to get the opioids because, they give the same opioids to dogs and cats. So they'll injure their pet just to get over to the veterinarian's office and get a prescription of pain pills for the dog. And they end up taking the pain pills, and the dog have to suffer in pain until they heal on their own. You know, these people are sick. They are sick. So the law generally requires all healthcare practitioners to consult the database before issuing new prescriptions to patients, or once every 4 months if a prescription remains a part of a patient's treatment plan. There are exceptions. Emergency departments and surgical teams can prescribe a non refillable 5-day supply without first consulting. In other emergency situations where cures is not reasonably possible, a 5-day non refillable supply is allowed, but the prescriber must document the reason for skipping consultation. The law does not apply to hospice care. Okay, which makes sense. Those people are at the end of their life. So why would you deny them the drugs just to keep them comfortable in those last moments that they're alive? But I just can't believe California actually fueled their problem by having a database but not checking it. And so all of these patients have been able to get away with like an unlimited supply of opioids because people just simply didn't do their job. Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, this ain't going nowhere, y'all. It's not going anywhere. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I will see you on the next video. Peace, family.